Hello students. Today we are going to start our new chapter, that is the chapter number 15, and that is Introduction to Polymer Chemistry. In the last chapter in biomolecules we studied so many polymer related things. Those are in carbohydrates, in proteins, in nucleic acids, in enzymes, everywhere monomers link to each other and there is a formation of polymer. Okay, so the background is that, but now all those in biomolecules are the living polymers which are present in our body and which are functioning biologically, physiologically, to give wellness and to give wealth of health to us. Okay, now here we are going to study the non biological polymers. Okay, and those polymers are nothing but the very well known our type of clothes. Okay, this is just the introduction. Now we will go for the classification. We will go for classification of polymers. Now classification, it is well chosen word for us, and this classification is based upon so many other things. First one is on the basis of source of origin, source or origin. Then next one is basis on the structure, basis on the structure. Then after that it is basis on the mode of polymerization, mode of polymerization. Means we are going to study the three types of different classifications based upon their source, based upon their structures, and based upon their mode of polymerization. Okay, so first one is on the basis of source or origin. So there are three different sources. One is natural, another one is synthetic, and third one is semi synthetic. Means what? Natural, which is naturally present in the nature, synthetic, that we are going to prepare in the laboratory, and semi synthetic means by taking base of natural we are going to doing processes on that natural fibers or natural polymers synthetically, and we get semi synthetic. Okay, this is the difference. So first of all we are going to see the natural one. Natural one are source is plant, source is plant, means we obtain it from plants, we obtain it from plants, and very well known is our cotton and linen. Cotton and linen, these are obtained from cotton plant, and the another one is obtained from flax plant. Cotton is obtained from cotton plant and linen is obtained from flax plant. Flax plant. Okay, we know very well the cotton tree no, we just can't say the tree, it is the bush sort of cotton. म्हणजे आपला मराठीतला कापूस, आपल्याला ते कापसाचं झाड अतिशय चांगलं माहिती आहे. दॅट इज द कॉटन प्लांट. अँड फ्लॅक्स प्लांट इज जनरली नॉट इन महाराष्ट्र, बट वी आर going to see its origin is in West Bengal, Orissa, Assam, and all that northeastern parts. Okay, so these are the two things, cotton and linen. And one more is the natural rubber. Word used is the natural rubber, because in rubber there is a synthetic thing is also, but natural rubber is also available, and that natural rubber we get it from the latex obtained from the bark of rubber trees. Bark of rubber trees. In Kerala there is a rubber plantation, and from that rubber plantation I think you can remember that picture which you studied in geography, a big rubber tree and with small pockets on their stem, and from that bark we can get this latex, and from that latex we can prepare this natural rubber. Okay, another source is animal. Another source is animal. This is also the natural source, animal. Okay, animal sources. Which are those animal sources? One is the sheep. Okay, from this sheep we get wool. From this sheep we get wool. that is wool is nothing but the hair of sheep. Okay, hair of sheep. And the another one is silkworm. From this silkworm we obtain silk. We obtain silk. Okay, so the natural, there are two classes, again plant origin and animal origin. In plant we get cotton, linen and natural rubber, while in animal, from the animal source we get wool and silk. We get wool and silk. Okay, now next is synthetic polymer. Next one is synthetic polymer. Okay, synthetic is nothing but man-made polymers. Okay, as I explained before, we prepare it in the laboratories, we prepare it in the industries, that those are the man-made. These are artificially prepared by polymerization of one monomer or copolymerization of two or more monomers. Means one single unit, a same unit can repeat like this. Okay, and this is monomer, but they, when they are going to link like this, then it is from the one monomer. Copolymerization means this is one type of monomer, this is another type of monomer, this is again another type of this type of monomer, here it is like this, or it may possible the monomer is again the third type. So they are, when they are going to link to each other in this way, then that is known as copolymerization. Two or more monomers, two or more monomers. Okay, and the examples are very well known. Those are nylon, terylene, neoprene. All these are synthetic polymers. All these are synthetic polymers. Okay, these synthetic polymers again further divided into fibrous, synthetic rubbers and plastic. Those are the fibers, synthetic rubbers and plastics. In naturally we know the natural rubber, and synthetic rubber means we can produce in the laboratory or in the industry, that is the synthetic rubber. And this is a very well known synthetic polymer, that is the plastic, that is the plastic. Okay, then another third part is the semi-synthetic polymers. Semi-synthetic polymers, these are derived from natural polymers. These are derived from natural polymers, and these are regenerated fibers. Means taking the base of natural polymer, we regenerate new fibers, new production. Okay, that is the new production by using natural polymers. How these are so? Cellulose derivatives such as cellulose, and when we are going to use or we are going to do reactions on that with this synthetic material acetate rayon, we get cellulose acetate rayon. Okay, then on cellulose if you are going to apply the nitrate reaction, then that is cellulyl nitrate. Then this is viscous rayon. Okay, then cupra ammonium rayon, and all these are the examples of this category. Which is that category? That is semi-synthetic polymers. Semi-synthetic polymers. Okay, then next thing is our classification. Next classification is based upon structure. Next classification based upon structure. Okay, what is that? We know very well the inorganic chemistry structure is very important, and just like that here it is the linear or straight chain polymers. We know the linear hydrocarbons, straight chain hydrocarbons, just like that straight or linear chain polymers. Then branch chain polymers, we know those, and cross link polymers. We will see one by one. Cross link polymers. Okay, so what is that? First of all, we are going to see the linear or straight chain polymer. Very well we know this thing. When the monomer molecules are joined together in a linear arrangement, okay, we get linear or straight chain polymers. These are obtained by bifunctional monomers or alkenes. Bifunctional means what? There are two functional groups. Okay, and if they are at the end of the chain, then they are very ready to form a long straight chain. These opens are end then if there are the two functional groups. Or suppose this is alkene, okay, and now if this bond is going to break, then here it is formation of bond like this, and the so many monomers of such type of going to link to each other to form polythene. Means with the two functional groups, suppose here it is one functional group, here it is another functional group, means this is the bifunctional monomer, then we can make a chain like this. Or if there is a double bond, means if there is a alkene, then also we can form a straight chain polymer. Okay, this is like a linear or straight chain polymer. So example is polyvinyl chloride, that is the PVC pipes, PVC tubes, PVC wires, all this is polyvinyl chloride, where we are having double bond and they link to each other. And similarly, in the linear we get high density polythene, and the short form is HDPE. We so many times we know this is in the advertisement or in the paper, in the newspapers, HDP and LDPE, that is a low density polythene is LDPE and high density polythene is HDPE. Okay, now this high density polythene HDPE is straight chain, and that's why their melting point is high. And that's why this high density polythene HDPE is used for boxes or used for buckets or used where we have to bear more weight with that, and then this HDPE is going to use bottles, baskets, buckets or all plastic utensils. They are made up of high density polythene, that is HDPE. Okay, and the reason is the same, just like a straight chain compound and the branch chain compound. Straight chain compound is having high melting point while branch chain compound is having low boiling point. And then the branch chain polymers, this is also the second most common arrangement. Okay, here it is monomer having three functional groups. This is the structure of the linear polymer. Then now here it may possible three functional groups all already having side chain. This is a straight chain and there is a side chain like this, or they are having three functional groups, means one functional group to this end, another functional groups to this end, and one more functional group over here. So again this functional group is also these two functional groups also give the chains or the straight chains like this, while if here it is at this position the third functional group is there, then there is again formation of another branch like this. There is formation of another branch like this. Okay, and they are connected to each other, and so there is formation of branches like this. Okay, and this is due to the third functional group. See here what I explain. Okay, like this. So this is nothing but branch chain polymer. This is branch chain polymer, and this is known as low density polythene. Short form is LDPE, low density polythene, and this is having lower boiling point as compared to linear straight chain polymer. And this type of polythene in day to day life we always use this thing. This is nothing but the wrappers. Wrapper for chocolates, wrapper for bread, or the cling film. All these are made up of low density polythene. These are quite transparent than this. They are quite transparent than this, and they are having low density. Okay, and their melting point is lower than this. This is basis of classification based upon structure. Now one more classification based upon structure is cross link polymers. Cross link polymers. These cross links are produced between linear chains. Means what? This is one chain, this is another chain, this is another chain. Then they are linked to each other. They are linked to each other, and this is known as cross links. This is known as cross links, and the example is bakelite or melamine. In detail we are going to study this, all these things. Only here it is just the introduction. What is the cross link polymers? That is bakelite and melamine. Next one is classification. Next classification based upon mode of polymerization. Mode of polymerization means the way monomers link to each other and form polymers. That is the mode of polymerization. So what is going to happen over there? Low molecular mass material, means which are having reactive groups, when they undergo treatment of high temperature or pressure or catalyst, they converted into high molecular mass material. This is very easy to understand. When there are monomers like this, okay, so they will have low molecular mass material, but collectively when there are n number of monomers attached to each other, definitely they are going to form high molecular mass material. Getting this point? Low molecular mass material with some reactions, with some using something like temperature, pressure, catalyst, you get high molecular mass material. Okay. Under this mode of polymerization, there are again three types of polymerization. One is addition polymerization, means just they are going to add to each other. Condensation polymerization means here we have to remove H2O molecule, just like in amino acids, alpha amino acids, when they link to each other, we remove H2O molecule and there is become a condensed protein. Okay, or the ring opening polymerization. And in the next lecture we are going to see what is addition polymerization, then condensation polymerization, and then ring opening polymerization. Thank you students. This is for today. Now in the next lecture we will go in detail of addition polymerization, then condensation polymerization, and ring opening polymerization. I am very disappointed with your class actually, because you are not going to ask any questions. There is no doubts, nothing is there. Views are also very less, but I am doing my duty. Okay, I am honest with my work, and that's why I am taking all these efforts and explaining you just like explain on the blackboard. And as this pandemic gives us a very good opportunity to teach you each and everything, but it depends upon you whether you are interested or not, and that's your destiny. I am not going to force you, but follow whatever you want to do. Thank you.